Alright, hello you guys, this is Ben, back with a video, and we're on the ground at San Francisco here, San Francisco International, the new Flightbeam HD. You can have a look at it, it looks really nice, it's great scenery. In the United colors, this is my first flight for UA Virtual, the virtual airline that everybody raves about. I've heard them mention a lot in my streams. So I just got registered, the ACARS is up and running, and we're going to do a flight. The departure is San Francisco, the arrival is Dulles, Washington Dulles. It's in the scheduled departure time, I want to say, is 11:24 p.m. And so right now it's just before 11 is the in-sim time. The arrival time is about 7:14 Eastern. It's roughly a 5-hour flight, just under a 5-hour flight according to PFPX, where I planned it out and then grabbed some numbers from the ACARS as well. Anything else worth mentioning? I'm using Active Sky with Rec Soft Clouds. You can see some MacLeods out there. There'll still be some stuttering. I know I'd mentioned that I was having stuttering issues. I haven't got those completely resolved, but it's a little bit better. Again, this is P3D v3, the new version. VAS, of course, is much improved. Other things that should be mentioned that I'm not thinking of, I'm sure there's others. This is the NGX, the 737-800 by PMDG. Recording with Fraps. And I think I've kind of hit on the bulk of things that I need to mention. So we have an alternate of Pittsburgh, if we need to divert for some reason. We do have a lot of ATC. We're on VATSIM, and they have an ATIS up at San Francisco. They have NorCal Approach on, which will handle approaches and departures. They have Oakland Center, Denver Center's online, Indy Center's online. There's a lot of control, so it should be a fun flight. If you have questions about add-ons, you're welcome to ask. Again, I'm sure I'm missing something. I know I apologize for that. But yeah, if you have any questions, just post in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. At any rate, can go ahead and get started. I don't know if I mentioned the weather. I know I mentioned soft clouds. At any rate, this weather's by Active Sky. I think we'll be departing off the 2.8s. Ordinarily, we'd take the 1s, but we're too heavy, so we're gonna need to go off the 2.8s. We wouldn't have enough runway if we went off 1 left. So yeah, it's the trunk and 2 departure. We'll get into that when we're in the aircraft. So let's get into the flight deck. All right, guys, welcome into the flight deck. Standard, Boeing NGX here by PMDG. Completely cold and dark at this point. So we'll need to get it started up. First things first, we can flip on the battery, arm the emergency exit lights, and then we'll need to connect some ground power. So we'll come down here to FS Actions. Ground connections, connect our ground power, and we'll get the air conditioning unit going. Get our dome light on so we can see. Flip on the logo light, we'll get some panel lighting going. We will need panel lighting. Begin to align the IRSs. And let's board up. So, our fuel release is, we're taking a lot of fuel, it's a long flight, 38,415 pounds. And our payload is, planned zero fuel weight is 128,234 pounds, so that's 128.3. Or 0.2 rather. And that rounds to 128.1, that is fine. Passengers are fine, forward cargo, aft cargo is fine. We're boarded up, so we can close our doors at this point. Let those doors close. And with that exit closed, going to retract the jetway and get some lighting in here set. So turn down the DUs, the display units, so that they aren't burning our eyes here. And we'll set some panel lighting on the pedestal. And we can set some panel lighting here for the main panel. Good stuff. Appear to be in good shape. Lighting is set. Ground power's connected. IRSs are coming aligned, and we are boarded. So let's get our passenger signs on. Get our window heat on. Packs, isolation valves fine. We'll leave our bleeds on, and I'll come over to the first officer side. 1 second. Jump through all my easy dock views. There we go. And we'll set the pressurization panel. Our initial flight level is 350, and then we'll be making a step climb to 370, and then we'll be making a step climb to 390 along the route. So we do have various step climbs. We'll leave our landing altitude as is, and we'll call it for clearance. One thing I should mention, I have the announcements from the UA virtual air cars turned on, so if you hear somebody talking, it sounds like a flight attendant, it's the ACAR system that is doing that. So let's give approach a call, or NorCal a call. ATIS information Sierra is current. They're departing runway 1 left. We'll request the 28s. So we'll call them with information Sierra. And we're going to be on the, should be the Trunkin 2 RNAV departure, Tipri transition, then it's filed. We'll see if he gives us an initial altitude. Departure will be with him, and we'll listen for a squawk. And he is on 13565. NorCal, good evening. United 1907 IFR to Washington Dulles. We have information Sierra.
Yeah, 1907 NorCal approach. Good evening. Correction request.
Alright, so he put us on request. We're going to stand by, see if he has a different routing for us. He might not. He might just be waiting. As far as
Yeah, 1907, clear Washington Dulles Airport, Trunkin 2 departure, Tipri transition, then as filed. Climb via Civic 718 5000, departure frequency 135.65, squawk 3604.
United 1907 is cleared to Washington Dulles International Airport. Trunkin 2 RNAV departure, Tipri transition, and is filed. Climb via SID, except maintain 5000. Departure frequency is with you, squawking 3604.
And 1907, departure frequency 125.35. Rest to read that correct. Expect runway 18.
Roger, 125.35 on the departure frequency. And is there any chance we could get one of the 28s for departure? We're pretty heavy.
1907, affirmative. Expect runway 28 left.
Roger, 28 left, thanks. Okay, so I missed the departure frequency. It's 125.35. That's the departure frequency. We'll put in our squawk. 360. 4, and should mention the call sign is United 1907, as you likely heard. 125.35 for our departure frequency.
434.
Get that later.
Approach.
And we can get into the FMS and get started setting up the aircraft.
12535. United 434. That was 1489. Rear contact, climb and maintain flight level 190.
190 for 14.
Put in all our pertinent information.
In return from Cessna 521 Alpha Tango 2 climbing through 3,200 for 5.
And then our routing. So our routing is provided by the ACARS dispatch.
29999 for Cessna 521 Alpha Tango.
We end up at Tipri. Off the departure. Join the Q126. And end up at Echo Kilo Romeo. Lima November Kilo. Bravo Victor Tango.
And our teleporter should be back in about 30 seconds.
And then the Milner VOR. Or it's a fix rather. It's not a VOR, Milner. And then lastly we end up on the Morgantown VOR, Mike Golf. There we go, Whiskey. and onto the arrival. Now our departure is the Trunkin 2, there it is, off 28 left, and the arrival is the Gibbs. As you can see, we're going to need to select a runway, so let me quickly check the weather at Dulles to get an idea of where we might be landing. Obviously things can change a lot in 5 hours. Wind is 330 at 8. I know they like to depart off runway 30. 330 at 8. I guess we could land probably one right would be a good runway for us, so whoops. Let's try that again. Gives 2 for the 19s. Yep. Or rather for the 1s. There we are. On the Morgantown Mike Golf Whiskey transition for the ILS one, right? That's a bit more like it. And we can execute that, and take a look at our routing. You see, we're going to get out of here. Fly a 284 heading to 520 feet, then make a right-hand turn to Trunkin, and then after Trunkin, we're to Cosmic after Trunkin. Need to put in a fixture that we're missing, Cosmic. And then Cosmic, we are direct to Tipperary.
Maintain 5,000. Maintain 5,000. Oh, we're over 5,000. We're going back. 521 Tango.
And then we have the rest of our routing, which that looks fine. Zero fuel, weight 128.1. That is correct. Our reserve fuel is 2.3. Looking at PFPX here. Cost index, I believe we were given a cost index of 80 by SimBrief, although I don't know if I want to push it that high. Let us keep it at, normally I use 38. I'll bump it up to 44. We'll use a cost index of 44, going up to flight level 350 initially, and then we have step climbs later on. We won't bother with the cruise winds at this point. Our takeoff performance.
Southwest 1275 with you holding at flight level 200.
Flight level, or 28 left.
Southwest 1275 North Kilohertz, Roger. Are you on the Big Sur 2 arrival or the Surfer 1 arrival?
Our assumed OAT is 38 centigrade or Celsius.
Southwest 1275 North Kilohertz. Are you on the Big Sur 2 arrival or the Surfer 1 arrival?
Alright, wonderful.
Big Sur 2 arrival.
Flaps 5.
Southwest 1275, Roger.
5.83 on the trim, CG is about 21%.
Cross Boulder.
V speeds are in.
10,000. Monterey altimeter 3000.
We'll set our parking brake and start the APU.
Monterey altimeter 3000. Cross.
V2 156, initial heading is 284.
Southwest 1275, cross Boulder. The Bravo Oscar Lima Delta Romeo.
We have a 5,000 foot restriction initially. Auto brake to RTO.
Boulder at 10,000, thank you.
VOR bugs can go up. Turn on traffic on both the
So
NDs.
that's the one off the Tango. Imagine you have the one limit weather for
Terrain and data.
Actually,
So no nav departure, so we can all have VNAV and LNAV.
But we still have to clinch in the
It's not letting us, so never mind. We'll get that in the air then. Not a problem.
Southwest 1849, contact Oakland Center 132.
And then lastly, we need to set our altimeter. And the current altimeter is 3000. There we go. 3000 is set.
Southwest 1275, North California. I'm wondering, can I take a visual approach and what runway
Speed,
will I
heading, altitude. Flight directors can
Southwest
come up.
1275, information Sierra, current San Francisco. Expect
VOR bugs are up,
visual
auto brake
approach
set,
runway
pressure is
28
set, and the APU is running.
Thank you.
That Southwest aircraft is quite loud. It's hurting my ears. Yaw damper on, we're running on the APU. Brakes are set, and we can call over the ground crew to push us back here. See where we're going to be pushing back to. Get handling from United. And we will go to nose right, tail left. The only way we can go. Get rid of some ground connections. Pitot covers can go, air conditioning unit can go, ground power and the chocks. All gone. We'll open up the remainder of our fuel pumps. Packs are off. Bleeds are fine. Beacon light on, and we will set our transponder to auto so that we're mode Charlie here on the ground. And wait for them to connect the push-pull tug to the nose gear.
Launching gear.
This is Cessna 1 Alpha Tango, say destination. We're going to an airstrip on the...
Departure check completed.
Going to the Farallon Islands for 5 Alpha Tango.
Release parking brakes.
This is Cessna 1 Alpha Tango.
All right.
Roger.
Brakes
You'll be,
released.
Commencing
leaving the
push.
class cover airport about 8 miles, so if you want to cancel that, I'm not should that work?
And so begins the
Yeah, we'll
United
cancel
plane.
a little
We'll
bit
start
faster.
number 2.
We're trying to clear about 5 Alpha Tango.
Excited to have you aboard.
Engine number 2 coming up.
We appreciate your attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. FAA regulation requires you to follow the instructions of our crew members and comply with posted and lighted signs.
Looking for about 25% N2 or 2.5% N1, and then you'll feed in fuel.
Newark?
Fuel going into engine number 2.
United.
You got it.
It's important to have your seatbelt on at all times. To fasten your seatbelt, slide the metal end into the buckle. Tighten by pulling the loose end of the strap. Lift the buckle to release. When the seatbelt sign is on, your seatbelt should be fastened low and tight across your lap. In case of unexpected turbulence, keep your seatbelt fastened even when the seatbelt sign is off.
Please take a moment to look around.
Good start on
In
engine number
order
2.
To familiarize yourself
Starting engine number 1.
with this aircraft. This Boeing 787 has 8 exit doors, 4 on each side of the aircraft. If the doors are open in an emergency, slide rafts will automatically inflate. In a water landing, slide rafts detach from the aircraft and are
Set
used as
parking
life
brakes.
rafts.
Brake set.
Exits are marked with overhead signs. As you locate the 2
All right,
exits
starting
towards
engine
your
number
seat,
1.
Remember, they may be behind you.
If you're seated in an exit row, you may be asked to assist the crew during
These
the event.
these announcements are pretty cool.
If
They're
you're
pretty
unable or uncomfortable, please
fleshed
touch
out,
the
man.
lights in
There's a
the
lot
seat
to them.
booth.
I like it.
If you must evacuate the aircraft, exit path lights on or near the floor will illuminate and guide you to
All right,
the
thanks
exit.
to the ground crew.
Look
We
for
got
changing color
we got
on
one
exit
good start
signs
going on 2 good
indicating
starts.
we
We'll wait for your hand signal, and thanks guys. See you later. All right, good start on engine number 1. We'll run on the engine gens. We can can the APU. APU bleed can go. Packs to auto. Isolation valve to auto. Electric hydraulic pumps and the probe heat on. Get our flaps set here in just a moment. Alright guys, sorry about that. I needed to set up FSU IPC. We're good to go. So flaps 1, 2, and 5 are set. We have a trim of 5.83 units, so we'll set our trim.
For international destinations, your flight attendants will advise you if it's necessary to turn off and show your device.
Right then, trim is set. Let's have a quick check of the flight controls as well. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and rudder full left, full right. Neutral. Flight controls look great. Trim and flaps are set. Probe heat hydraulics are on. Packs are on. Isolation valve auto. APU and APU bleed are off. Transponder is set. And we are ready for taxi. Taxi light on. Can get rid of the dome light. Can give them a call for taxi to 28 left. Believe information Sierra is still current. It is.
From all of us around the
NorCal United 1907 with the numbers ready for taxi 28 left.
Yeah, 1907, runway 2 left, taxi via Alpha Foxtrot, cross runway 1 left, cross runway 1 right.
28 left via Alpha Foxtrot, cross 1 left, cross 1 right, United 1907. And we can taxi out to the runway. I'll see you guys as we're getting ready to depart. Alright guys, welcome back. We're just approaching 28 left here.
Yeah, 1907, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff when 260 will meet.
28 left cleared for takeoff, United 1907. Alright, weather radar is on. Auto throttle is armed. Engine start switches to continuous. Transponder TARA, and we're cleared. We're ready to go. 28 left. Yeah, you can still see the little hiccups here, so I apologize for that. They're not as bad as they were, but they're still slightly annoying. Strobe on, landing lights, and the turn-offs, and we're good to go. Start our clock. Be a long flight, so clock's always nice to have. Line ourselves up, let those throttles stabilize at about 40%. They are indeed stable. Toga. Airspeed alive. Thrust set. Thrust hold. Positive rate of climb, gear up. .400 feet, LNAV. And VNAV, we have climb thrust.
So that's 1275. This is going to maintain 4,000.
Did you repeat that? Those you cut out.
So that's 1275. This is going to maintain 4,000. Stay airspeed.
4,000, and we are currently at 280, slowing down to 260 currently.
So that's 1275, roger. Max 250 below 10,000. And if able, reduce
Speed checked, flaps 1.
Okay, 250, thank you.
United 1907 in the turn contact NorCal departure radios.
Over to departure, United 1907, thanks, good night. Speed checked, flaps up. Autopilot is in. Engine start switches can go to off. Gear off, auto brake off.
Visual aircraft information Tango, current at
Retracts.
3000.
Turn offs and the taxi light, and we will contact NorCal now. I'm not seeing the frequency listed here. I believe he said it's 125.35, so we'll give him a call. See if that frequency works for us. NorCal, good evening. United 1907, 4.1 for 5,000.
United 1907, turn counter pressure, better contact. Maintaining level 190.
Flight level 190, United 1907. And up to 190 we go. We're out of here. We're out of San Fran.
1494, contact NorCal, approach 135.65.
Under 3565, Delta 1494.
Ooh, that looks really nice. The night lighting here. Ah, look at that. Is that yeah, it looks like a baseball stadium. I wonder if that's what Candlestick is home to both the Giants and the or well, formerly was home of the 49ers, if I remember correctly. And then they got the new Levi Stadium that's, I believe, devoted strictly to football for the Niners. But that was cool to see. We'll get our fixed landing lights at 10,000 feet and continue on our way. And then he's going to send us over to Oakland 132.2 next, so we'll put that in the standby frequency. And Oakland will give us our climb up to cruise. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. The night lighting out there. $10,000 feet. Landing lights off, and you can hear the cabin announcements going. And we will begin to accelerate through 250 knots.
Delta 6716, wind Pushback, correction 160 at 5, running 16 right, clear line. 16 right, clear line, Delta 6716.
Begin the turn to Tipray, which is our transition out of the departure. Give you guys a wing view here, because that looks quite nice. Awesome stuff. Really, really nice departure out of there. The night flights are just gorgeous in P3D with some nice night lighting. Really, really gorgeous. And then our top of climb, I'm sure, is way out there. Yeah, top of climb's about 160 out, a little over 160 since we're so heavy.
United 1907, contact Oakland Center 132.29.
Over to Oakland, United 1907, good night. And we'll give Oakland a call. Oakland, good evening. United 1907 through 14.8 for flight level 190.
United 1907, Oakland Center, take you climb and maintain flight level 350.
Flight level 350, United 1907. Alright, and we're cleared all the way up to our final flight level. We're coming up on 18,000 feet where we will reset our altimeter to standard pressure. And then at that point we'll kind of be home free. Just a lot of sitting and waiting and monitoring. And yeah, if I take a look here, what, Denver's online? Yeah, Denver's online, so there'll be like a gap where we don't have any control. Then we'll hit Denver if they're still there for us. Another big gap, then we'll clip Indy. And then it looks like there's nothing online right now at Dulles, but of course things can change. That said, it's a little before 10 here on the East Coast, so I'll be landing at around 3 in the morning. I'd be quite surprised if anybody was awake at that time to control, but we'll see. See, we're leaving the city behind back there. Ground speed's at 433. We have a slight tailwind. This is an eastbound flight, so we're likely to have a tailwind for the majority of it. Generally, west to east you catch tailwinds, and east to west you catch headwinds. Alright, through our transition altitude, standard pressure is set, and we're well on our way to Dulles. So we'll be up here cruising for a while. I'll give you guys some nice views, and I hope you all enjoy the flight. Check back in as we're getting ready to descend. So yeah, guys, enjoy it. Alright guys, welcome back into the flight deck. We've been up here for 4 hours now. You can see the sun just starting to peak up there in the east. We'll probably be landed around dawn, so it should be a really pretty approach. We're right smack dab over the middle of Ohio. We've done 2 step climbs. Our first was up to 370, our second takes us up to 390. And yeah, it's been a pretty routine flight, nothing much to note. Some nice views, the night lighting is looking nice as always. And yeah, we're feeling good. So let's prep for the descent. First things first, we can set our pressurization panel. And we'll want to set our landing altitude, which at Dulles, it is 300 feet approximately. So we'll set that here on our pressurization panel. With that done, we can set the ILS frequency and course. We're going to want to know what runway we're landing on. I'd plan for 1 right, and the wind is 350 at 6. So 1 right will still be perfect for us, because that will take us such that we have a shorter taxi in the gate. Yeah, 1 right will treat us well. So I have the chart up for that. The frequency is 110.1, so we'll set this in both of the nav radios. And the course, the approach course is 011. Set that as well. I should probably set our auto brake at this point. Let's see, we have 11,500 feet of runway, which is quite a lot, so an auto brake of 1 will be totally fine. We don't need a lot. Our barometric minimums will be 512. We can set that. 512 on our barometric minimums, as you can see down there. That is now set, looking good. And let's brief the approach, shall we? And just the arrival. So we're on the Gibbs 2. It's an RNAV arrival over the Mike Golf Whiskey Morgantown VOR. It's our transition. From Morgantown, we're proceeding to Brendan. So you can see we're inbound to Milner, then our transition, we join the Star Morgantown. Brandon, High Roy, between flight level 270 and flight level 240. Jim V between flight level 210 and flight level 250 at 280 knots. To Tab, we jump to the next page, between 17000 and flight level 230. To Kicker between 14000 and 16000, 280 knots. Iggy at or below 14,000. Mosley at 11,000, 250 knots. Monk at or below 10,000. B-Mitch at or above 9,000. Theismann at 7,000, and then we have a handful of fixes to Gibbs, to Sonny J. I'm assuming that's Sonny Jurgensen, because this seems to be a reference to the Washington football team. This star, Art Monk, Joe Theismann. I'm sure I'm not a big Washington fan. Well, I don't have a problem with them. I'm just not familiar with them. But Joe Gibbs, Sonny Jurgensen. So you can see these fixes. To Sayob or Siyob, to Mike J. And then we're going to vector ourselves onto the approach course. Now if we take a look at this, go into the plan mode here, bring that range out, and jump through these fixes. So there's Milner, Mike Golf Whiskey, Brandon, Heroy, Jim V, Kicker, Iggy, Mosley, Monk, B-Mitch, Theismann, Sonny Jurgensen, Sonny J, Sioib, Mike J. And then after Mike J, we'll just make a, basically puts us on what, a left downwind, so we'll make a base turn to join final for a 1 right. So that's the approach briefed as far as, or that's the arrival briefed, I should say. As far as the approach goes, mention it's the ILS 1 right. If we do have to go missed for some reason, we're climbing to 800 feet and then making a climbing right turn to 3000 on a 060 heading, or the Armel 051 radial to the Butts intersection, where we will hold. We'll really just vector ourselves back over. Hopefully we don't have to go missed, but if we do, we have plenty of fuel. And then lastly, our landing speed. So if we come down here, take a look at our progress page. Current fuel is about 14,000. We're estimated to have 12,000. So that'll be a difference of what? 2,000 pounds. So we'll just call this 140 on our gross weight. And that'll give us a landing speed of 146 knots if we take flaps 30, which is the plan. Great, so we're ready to descend here. Top of descent's coming up in about 80 miles. Can set our altitude down here to as low as we can go here on the Star, which will drop all the way down to 7,000. So I'll reset our MCP altitude, and we will begin descending here shortly. Get the seatbelts back on soon, and yeah, we'll be in Dulles not too long from now. So enjoy the descent, guys, and I will see you all as we're getting ready to land. Alright guys, welcome back into the flight deck. So we're just about to hit 10,000 feet. We're well into the arrival and we'll be down on the ground shortly. You can see the sun's just starting to come up and man does it look beautiful. The kind of light orange hues there are just incredible. They look so nice. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying that view as much as I am. That looks phenomenal. And yeah, we're going to be touching down pretty soon, I believe. We're about 30-40 miles from the field. So yeah, we're not looking at too much longer up here in the air. You can see we just hit a bit of turbulence here, and the pitos are getting bashed around. There's 10,000 feet. Get our fixed landing lights on. And there was the cabin announcement, sounding very nice. This turbulence isn't too fun though, but we'll live. I'm not sure if there's any traffic at Dulles. I can check VATSIM shortly. I don't think there is, but I'll have a look. Just in the event that there may be some traffic on VATSIM that we should be aware of. Man, yeah, we're just getting throttled right now. So let's have a look here. Anything at Dulles? No, there's currently no traffic at Dulles. Looks like I'm the only plane going in there. So we shouldn't have to worry about their planes on VATSIM. Pull out a little bit of speed brake just to help manage our speed here. This turbulence is not fun. This is a hot mess right now, but we got our passenger signs on. We'll survive. And hopefully we'll get through this rough patch here fairly soon. See those cloud layers look really nice. That kind of volumetric effect there from the wrecked soft clouds looks really nice. You can actually see through them a bit there to the ground. Awesome stuff. Okay, it looks like we need more drag. Yeah, the throttles don't know what to do because the true airspeed is, it's just all over the place. So they don't know how to respond to these changes. You can see we're jumping anywhere from 250 knots to 258 knots. But, yeah, it'll be okay. And again, hopefully we'll get through this soon. So let's see, we need to be at, when we're at the ILS, need to be at or above 3,000. So we can just start a slow descent down to 3,000 feet. Here after Theismann. And we will can take level change, keep our speed at 240 for now is fine. And in fact, in order to try and get a decent stable descent going, I'm going to set our VS to about 750 feet per minute. If that, we can actually just keep it at about 650 will be fine for now. I wonder if there's like a weather system or something. That's the only thing I can think because this weather's just insane. I live in the Virginia area and there hasn't been any storms. I know there's some storms up northeast of here. to, or earlier tonight in the Boston, New York area, there were some thunder showers, but I wasn't aware of any down here a bit further south. And yeah, look at that. We have our speed brake all the way out, and it just can't hold a steady speed because the pitos are getting slammed. So I'm just going to put the speed brake away. That's probably our best bet. See if those throttles want to spool back for us. We'll just have to accept that it's going to be a bit turbulent. I can't get our engine start switches too continuous now, though, especially with the bumps. Alright, there we go. Now we're through that mess. Our speed's coming down nicely. Obviously, you want to try and keep it under 250 knots when you're below 10,000 feet, but when you're getting knocked around like that, there's only so much you can do. Just sync up our heading bug here with our current track. Obviously, we're still using LNAV, lateral navigation, but then once we're about halfway between Sayob and Mike J, I will set our speed down to 210. Then as we make the turn to final, drop it down to 180. If you look off to the left, you can see the field. Looking very nice. Shallow out that descent just a bit more even. So, quick weather check. Altimeter 3002 is set. Our fixed landing lights are on, and we'll bring out some flaps here shortly. Right then, 210 on the speed, and flaps 1. Speed's dropping nicely. And then what I'll do is prime up our heading here after Mike J. I believe it's probably not quite enough of an angle to cut it in on for a turn to final, so we'll make a base leg of on a heading of 100. And in fact, given where that wind's coming from, we can make it 090. Frame rate seems pretty good. Yeah, frames, I mean, they're jumping around a bit naturally. You got auto-gen and the airport. I've seen them as low as 17 and I've seen them as high as 30. They seem to be around 25, 26, 27, give or take. Alright, and we'll make the turn to on a heading of 090. Tell you what, we can keep that coming all the way around there on a bit of a better angle to intercept. Great. And we'll level off at 3,000 feet. So, in order to intercept a localizer, you want a maximum intercept course of 45-degree difference. So 011, you could go up to 056. So 045 is a perfectly fine intercept course. We're about 5 miles there from Hosby. We'll drop our speed down to 180 and take flaps 5. And we can arm approach. You can see both the localizer and the glide slope are being identified. Make it 040. The less you can have that angle, the better. If you can cut that angle a bit, that's, you know, by all means go for it. Some airfield over there. I'm not entirely sure what field that is, or airport. It's about to hit the loc there. You should see it come alive down here soon. Yep, localizer is alive. And I'm just going to keep making subtle adjustments because I do find that sometimes this plane will overshoot the localizer. Which isn't a huge deal, but ideally you'd like a clean capture, which doesn't always happen. And by this plane, I don't just mean this plane, I mean a lot of planes that I fly. I don't want to rag on the NGX because it's a great aircraft. Alright, there we go. Localizer is captured. About 12 miles from the field or so. Yeah, glide slope is alive. I'm going to make a quick call on Unicom to let people know we're landing. Great. Sync up our heading bug here. Reduce our speed down to 172. Glide slope is captured, gear down, flaps 15. And we can arm our spoilers with the gear going down as well. Radio altimeter is alive. We'll assume that we've been cleared, get the rest of our lights on. Missed approach altitude is 3,000 feet. That's set. We're just standing by on our landing flaps and our standing by on the landing flaps and our VREF speed, which we will set here once we're over Waxon, I believe is the name of the fix there. And let me just quickly check our speed. Ignore that drag required message. 146. And the winds are currently reporting at 8 knots, so we'll add a bit to that. We'll make it about 150 or so. There's the outer marker. Just 5 miles from the field now. And speed checked, flaps 30. Alright, and I will take control of the aircraft and we'll put it down. Or at least try to. Autopilot's out, auto throttle, and the flight directors can go. My aircraft. And we're down a little bounce. Reversers are out. Decel. .80 knots, reversers are stowed. Manually braking, and we'll get off to the left here at Kilo 4. So, as you guys probably just realized, that isn't really a rapid exit now, is it? That's... Yeah, that was not a high-speed exit. I thought that was a high speed. That was very much not. Alright, we'll get our lights off. Start the APU. We can stop the clock. 4 hours, 46 minutes. Flaps can come in. Auto brake 2 off. Transponder set auto. And we can get rid of the weather radar. And we're ready to taxi on in. So what I was just about to say, and I'm sure as you guys noticed, and it's kind of a bummer, is that this scenery is not Flightbeam scenery. Hey, look, it is default scenery. So here's what happened. I was planning originally on doing this flight from plan was to go from San Francisco to Boston, and then I had a change of heart. So I came into the sim and I enabled SFO and Boston, and didn't enable Dulles, and didn't turn it on after I had made the decision to fly to Dulles instead of Boston. So it's kind of lousy. We're going to gate Delta 19, which is, I believe it'll be our next left down there. Yeah. So at any rate, I'm really sorry. I realized that as I was coming over the threshold that, wait, yeah, this isn't correct scenery, and so that kind of sucks. Especially at the end of a long flight. I know it's not a huge deal, but you'd rather see nice scenery than this, which is just lacking in many ways. So at any rate, yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm bummed myself as well, so I hope it's not too big of a bummer for you. It was a fun flight nonetheless, so we'll go ahead and get parked up, try and move past the scenery blunder, and I will see you guys at the gate. Alright guys, welcome back. We're just about to park up. We'll kill the taxi light, transfer power to the APU gens, and we'll park up here at Delta 19. I'll have to make up for this and do a flight out of Dulles with the proper scenery to somewhere. Maybe Chicago. Dulles to Chicago would be a good one. There's lots of options out there. Could potentially go up to Boston. We'll see. Get it parked up. Set our brakes, kill our engines. Anti-collision light, the beacon can go off. We'll turn on the APU bleed. Belts can go off, yaw damper can go off. Probe heat, electric hydraulic pumps, the window heat can go as well. And we can get some ground connections going here. Run on the ground power, kill the APU, close up our fuel pumps. And that puts us in pretty good shape. We can open some doors and request deboarding from GSX. And there we are at Dulles, parked up and on the ground with crap scenery, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, hop around several views. That's not a bad one. I think you got to see the sun rising though, so that's the proper view to end it on. Anyway, yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the flight despite the lousy scenery there. We'll make up for it and give Flightbeam Dulles some love here soon in the next video. But yeah, it was a fun flight otherwise, despite the little ending on the sour note. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.